You know, the Bible tells us a story in Ezekiel 37 of a valley filled with old dry bones that had been scattered everywhere across the valley floor. Now, in the story, a prophet is told to speak to the bones on God's behalf. And as he spoke, there was a rattling noise as the bones came together to form bodies. Then muscles formed with tissue connecting those bones, and finally skin formed to cover that. But they still had no breath in them. Now, the bones coming together with muscles and flesh to cover them was nothing short of a miracle. It was clearly a work of God. But without the breath of the Spirit, there was no life in them. Then the prophet is told to speak again, to summon the winds to breathe into these lifeless bodies. And as the wind came, it was like God's Spirit of life entering them. And the Bible says they came to life and stood up on their feet, a mighty army. As a parallel to this story, in our work, there are leadership principles and business and marketing practices, all sorts of tools and techniques that are used every day by people all over the world. These are proven practices, some even rooted in biblical truth or principles. But when we compartmentalize our lives, or concede to today's social pressures to not bring our faith into our work or our workplace, these proven principles are like the flesh and bones in the story. Their wisdom may indeed be of God, but we're stopping short of the power that comes when we fully engage Him to breathe life into them or into us as we apply them. Now, maybe this is a special insight to say just the right thing in a difficult conversation, or a certain wisdom that directs us through a particularly tough challenge. Regardless of the situation, I'm convinced we become far more effective when our public words and actions, even in our workplace, are the product of our private times of being alone with God. And intentionally engaging with God about our work makes us better workers. It makes us better leaders. And I believe it has the potential to change the world around us by changing the workplace.